What's up, peeps? My name's Ian. I sell books on eBay. Monday morning, we've got a couple of dozen orders to go out. Saturday was really quiet, not a single sale till 4 in the afternoon, and then a few came in. Yesterday was a kind of average day, but a couple of interesting bits and pieces, so let's have a wee look at what's going out the door today. First, we've got a bundle of Dinah Jeffries and One Santa Montefiore. Not big value books, couple of quid each, but both those authors move really quickly, so if I see them I grab them because they don't hang about. Let's see, it's a very small markup that you're going to get on them, but they go that quickly that I find that they're worth just picking up and churning out. So regularly run out or only have a couple in the listing, but just because they do sell so quickly. So that's our first little order. Santa Montefiore, Dinah Jeffries. So we'll get these taped up and stuck in a bag. Now, what was it? So the total order value for these 5 books was £13.80. So that's obviously including postage. so my bag didn't want to come out the packet there. So £13.80 will be about £3 to £4 in fees coming off of that. I think it went promoted, yes it did. So we're down to about a tenner. £3 to post them, down to about 7, and it will cost me about £1.25 for the 5 books, so about £4 off of those 5 books. So let's say it's not going to make you rich, but they move fast, so 2 authors that I would recommend picking up, and these are going to EX31. EX31. Done. Right. Next up we have, where's it here? Jemima Puddle Duck hardcover book, £2.85 plus postage. So there was a question in the comments from the other day asking if I sold many just single books, and the answer is yes. And yes, typically I am more expensive if people just buy single books, so I'm not set up to sell single books as such. I'm not trying to compete with that market, but people do still buy them. There's always those that will just see what they want, click on it, and the fact that it's £1, £2 more than someone else doesn't seem to matter to them. They'll just click the one that they want to buy. So I do get a handful of single books through that. For the most part, the single books that I do sell tend to be ones that are worth a wee bit above average, so that I can actually be competitive in price in those and still make something off of them. And I think we've got a few of those going out today, so we'll see them as they go. Get this one wrapped up, and done. Right, next is another of those single books, and it is Matthew Perry. So I just picked this up yesterday actually, so it's been a quick find on this one. Obviously, they passed away recently, so there's a wee bit more interest in those books. I did notice that quite a few folk are suddenly trying to charge £20–25 for that book. I didn't. I don't want to profit from somebody's misfortune. It just doesn't seem right. So that just went out at its normal price, which was £7 plus postage. So a wee tenner on that one. And it is going off to IP5. Get it bagged up and ready to go. So Matthew Perry, Chandler Bing. I used to like Friends. Seen when it first came out, and those that are of a certain age will probably remember that it was a programme that could only be shown after The Watershed because it had quite grown up themes. So it was only on 9 o'clock. Was it 9? I think it was 9, not 9:30. 9 o'clock, Channel 4. So it was a bit edgy. Can you believe that? Friends being considered a bit edgy. It's like as vanilla as it comes now. But back then, that's what it was. So yeah. I liked it then. Now my daughter's watched it through I don't know how many times, you know, all 10 seasons, just bum 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 bum, then back to the start. Well, that's put me off for life, I think. But back in the day, it was funny. Oh, I've only just noticed. I'm using my daughter's Friends mug. Right, next up, put them over here. We've got a wee pile of Julia Donaldson type books. Well, they're all Julia Donaldson. Can You Count, Jigsaw Book, The Gruffalo, Postman Bear, Lift the Flap, and The Snail and the Whale. So I'll get these wrapped up. That was that was £9 something for those 3 books. So another author that in kids' books, I know a lot of people will dismiss them out of hand, but there's certain kids authors that just sell well and consistently, and Julia Donaldson's one of them. So if you see Julia Donaldson books and they're in good condition, that's kind of key with the kids' books. If they're in good condition, buy them, create a big bulk listing, stick them on for £2 or £3 each within that, some sort of discount offer. So untangle this. So these will have gone buy 2 get 1 free, plus the postage, and they sell quite well and regularly. It's the type of book as well that if you go into a shop and they've got one, they've usually got a few, because people will have had a clear out and they won't have had one Julia Donaldson book. They'll have had a bundle of them. So it's usually quite easy to get a stack at a time. But with them being kids' books, they are more prone to be a bit scruffy. So as I say, look for ones that are in good condition. Hardcover, soft cover, doesn't really matter. They seem to sell just as well as each other. Next, this is a wee pick up from the other day. YuGiOh PS1 game. This sold for £12 plus postage. So it's got a cracked case, but that was fully disclosed in the description. It's a nice wee bonus sale. I say I don't go looking for things like that, but if I see them, I'll pick them up. Anything that's in that collectibles genre. So YuGiOh, Pokemon, you know the types. I don't research them. If they're £1, I'll grab them, because you're not going to get it wrong, are you? Even if you only get £2 or £3 back on them, you're still going to get something, and they're dead easy to list. So they're always a win. And make it nicely padded up. And bag it up. So that's a nice wee bonus type sale. Stick that down there. Right, next, it's over here again. I've got a stack behind me, a stack in front of me, stacks everywhere. We've got 3 Beast Quest books. A couple of quid each for these, but buy 2 get 1 free. So that'd be about £7 for the 3 books. And about £3 odd in postage. £2.50, £3 in fees. So those 3 little books. Lucky if I'm making £1. Might make £1.50, I don't know. I've not done the math. But again, another book series that are worth picking up. If you see one Beast Quest book, probably you'll see a few. But again, it's one of these things that people hand in because they're having a clear out, so it'll be their kids' collection of books. So, not big money, but they sell pretty well, especially once you've got a good few of them listed up. So worth picking up and just churning out. Low profit, high volume. Right, next we have Atomic Habits by James Clear. I found 2 of these yesterday, yeah, just yesterday, and that's one of them sold already. £6 plus postage. Self-help books, business books, a good proportion of them sell well. So to buy that new 10 or 12 quid, people are willing to pay, well, it's been nearly £10 second hand. It's in good condition, obviously. So if you see that one, pick it up. I've had one of them before and it sold within a day. Another 2 and that's one sold within a day. So Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a popular self-help business management type book at the moment. So if you do find it, you'll sell it fast. And just, if you get the price right, you'll sell it fast. As people have them listed for 9-10 quid. More than that, pre-owned. And they seem to be sitting there for a wee while. So get the price right and just get it in and out the door. That book cost me 25p and I've sold it for 6 quid in less than a day. That's ideal. You've got it moved and it's all done and dusted. Right, I've got 2 big loads over there that I'm going to come back to. I'm going to clear out some space over here first. So we have a lovely grey iron top. I know it's mostly books, but I do have a few bits of these pieces to go out. I took a wee run around the shops last week just to see what there was. Spent about £100, which really smart, because for 100 quid I can get hundreds of books usually. I thought, let's just get a few other bits and pieces, because it's that time of year. If they're good quality, let's grab them and get them shifted out. So I think I actually ended up paying about 6 quid for that top, but it sold for 30, so I'll take that. And it weighs 550. Where did I say this one was going to? I didn't, but now I'm going to say it, SG8. So I'll get that in the pile. So yeah, if you see something half decent, you think you can turn money on it, buy it, sell it. Right, next we have A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. A few different copies of this. This one is in fantastic condition and it sold for 3 quid plus postage. So this is the type of book where I do sell them well as singles. So classics, modern classics, special editions. It's still not huge money they're selling for, but there's fewer of them available, and the big sellers, for the most part, will just have their generic stock photo. And if somebody's buying a book like that, they're buying it not just to read whilst lying on a beach and then bin, they're buying it because it's part of a collection, because they want to own that book. So if you can get a copy and take pictures of, you know, the cover, the back, the spine, whatever else is necessary, then you're more likely to get the sale than one of the big sellers, because they've just got a stock picture, so people don't actually know what they're getting. Whereas that book's in excellent condition, so I'm able to take good pictures of it, show it off, which takes moments to do, it's not a big effort, and then it sells for £3. Again, 25p that will have cost me, so well worth turning it around for that. And it's going to LN5, and into the pile it goes. Next, oh, another oddity, old VHS. I was in a charity shop and somebody had just handed in a bag of stuff, and the guy took them out and threw them straight in the bin. He says, "What are you doing that for?" "We can't sell these." Don't know why, but they don't sell them. So I says, "Well, I'll take them, just I'll give you a donation." I was buying other stuff, and he says, "I'll just chuck them in your bag." So essentially they were free, and they sold for £9.90 plus postage. So sealed old VHS blanks, people still want them. If you see them, grab them, stick them up. I've maybe had them for a fortnight, and that's them gone out the door. I'm going to make sure they're well wrapped up. Don't want them getting cracked and broken. So that was an extra wee bonus. It's something I've had my eye open for quite some time, but I think that's the first time I've actually picked any up and bothered with them. And it's worth it because it's a few quid profit, and every penny counts. So yes, one of those different types of sales today. Seal it up, get a weight, let's call it 600 grams, and these are going to G83, which is Alexandria, north of Glasgow. Right, next, Hard Time, Locked Up Abroad by Sean Atwood. It's in this bag here somewhere. Right. Let's see if we can't find it. Definitely picked it. There he is. Hard Time, Sean Atwood. Some ex-con who now writes books. I found 3 of his books maybe 3-4 weeks ago. One of them was signed. The 2 unsigned ones have sold. That's the second one. And I've still got the signed one sitting there. Unfortunately, the signed one was a bit of a mess. It's all ripped and torn, but I've listed it anyway just because it's a signed copy. Somebody may want it. Don't know what I've listed it for, not a lot. But it's sitting there waiting to be bought. That taped up. And into the bag it goes. This is going to KA16. Oh, that's quite local to me. Not sure, entirely sure where, but it's not far away. Maybe Kilwinning-ish. £2.85. Yeah. Postage, the usual. Weighs 500 grams. And what did I say? KA16. There we go. It's in the pile. Right, next we've got a Michael Crichton and an Alex Garland book, which will be these two here. The Beach, actually quite a good book. The film was a bit mince, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Travels by Michael Crichton. Now, let's put them in a pile, wrap them up nice, and send them to BT92. So over the sea. I think BT's Northern Ireland. Snip, snip, snip. So get these out. I keep meaning to read more Michael Crichton. I think in the past I've read Jurassic Park. Hasn't everyone? Brilliant book. Probably The Lost World, although I do. I don't remember the book very well, but I remember that it has nothing to do with the Lost World movie, you know, the second Jurassic Park movie. I mean, the first film in the book are a bit different, but the second film and the second book are different stories. I can't remember why, but I just remember that they are. But yeah, I want to read more Michael Crichton, I just don't ever seem to get round to it. I've got a big stack of them, so maybe at some point I will. BT92. Right. Next we've got 3 Charlene Harris books, which will be all these 3 here. We've got paperback Dead and Gone, we hardcover of Deadlocked, and Dead in the Family hardcover again. It's a little bundle. How much did they pay for these? Let's have a look. So $7.99 for the 3 books. So that's the £3 each in the hardcovers, $1.99 for the paperback, and it'll be a 30% off deal they will have used by then. So when you add in the postage and take off everything else, £9.24 for those 3 books. So, you know, sales that are worth about a tenner, I'm quite happy with, because I'm usually going to be putting £3-4 back in my pocket, and they cost pennies to buy. Grey bag come out. So yeah, happy with these sales. And it ain't worth 50 quid. I mean, to be honest, if I had 25 sales going out on a Monday morning and every single thing had sold for 50 quid and I was making £20 profit on each one, that would be wonderful. But it would take a hell of a lot longer to do everything. You know, to have that volume of high value stock, the amount it would cost to buy it would be CM8. This is going to would be very high. And then there's all the returns nonsense you get with more valuable things. But anyway, that aside, this next book, Aussie, oi oi oi, I Am Aussie paperback. Another thing that I'll pick up when I see them, you know, autobiographies by, not necessarily by musicians, but by rock stars. They always seem to sell, not very quickly or anything, but they do always sell. So if I see them in good condition, pick them up. And I'm guessing that they're gift items. So a lot of people, oh, Uncle Bob likes Ozzy Osbourne, get him that book for his birthday, Christmas, whatever it might be. And that's where you make the sales. So they don't sell particularly fast, but they do always seem to sell. So I will pick them up as they go. And Aussie weighs 500 grams. And Aussie is going to PE3. PE3. Right, that's that bubble roll wrap thing finished. So we're on to a whole new roll. Can it be a fresh roll of bubble wrap for taking up space under your feet? Right, and after Aussie came Robert Harris and Conor Golden. So there's the Conor Golden Lion, one of his Greek series, and Robert Harris. We've got V2, which I've got sitting on my shelf to read. The Ghost, which I've read and is very, very good. And Active Oblivion hardcover, which again I've got sitting on my shelf waiting to read. So many books I want to read, and I just know I'll never get them all read. But you know, such is life. So we'll get these wrapped up. I wasn't sure if this was going to be a over 2 kilo bundle or not, which obviously costs me an awful lot more to post. As soon as it goes over 2 kilos, the postage cost just about doubles. Well, it doesn't just about, it doubles. It actually more than doubles. It goes up, it doubles it, and then add 1p. It just seems a bit crazy, but that's just frustrating in something weighs like 2.1 kilos. If it weighs 5 kilos, it's still just the same price. So it's encouraging people to buy lightish orders or big heavy orders. For this one, and let's see what it weighs. Oh, I think we're going to be quite a bit under the 2 kilos. That's good. Maybe 1.7. So there's still profit in that pile. To account for heavier orders, excuse me, I just charge more for hardcovers. So if people buy a bundle of hardcovers, then the extra £1 they pay for each of those covers the extra postage. So I don't make more money because I sell them for more, but I don't lose money. And it's going to GU too. Another one for the pile. Big pile today. Next, another single book going out. So James Barkleys' Night Child. Never heard of this before I saw it. Fantasy, Chronicles of the Raven, sci-fi, fantasy. It's something like that. It looks like fantasy by the cover. I say not an author I've heard of. Maybe I should have, I don't know. But that just sold for £2.85 plus postage. Right, spectacular. But again, fantasy books. When I see fantasy books, I just pick them up, because again, it's the kind of books that people will buy because they want that book. So if you see them and they're in good condition, or vintage and maybe not quite as good condition, pick them up, and people may be looking for them for their collection. I have no idea how long I've had this one sitting there. Could have been a few months, but it goes eventually. And the only thing, depending on how you're set up on eBay with your business, you know, you get so many free listings a month, and then you've got to pay 6p, 10p, whatever it might be per listing after that. If you're paying, for example, 6p a month for additional listings, and you're only making 50p profit on a book, if that book sits for 10 months, you're making a loss. So be very conscious of that. Either get, so I pay about 90 quid a month to eBay, and that gets me 1500 listings for that money. Where's this going? M7. And typically I have about 2,200 listings a month that go up. So I'm paying for about 700. The next package deal up means that I can list a few thousand more at the 6p a listing rate before, what have we got next? Alex Gray the Stalker. Before it's worthwhile getting the next deal, which would be unlimited listings. Alex Gray, the stalker. So yeah, be conscious of that when you're selling low price things, especially if they sit for a year, then you might actually have just used up all your profit for the amount of time it's been sitting there. So keep an eye, you know, be aware of how long things have been in your store, and if they ain't moving and they've been there that long, do something different with them. You know, if things haven't moved after 2 or 3 months, check the listing. Is there anything you can do to improve it? Have you been tweaking your generic descriptions or whatever you use, and this one hasn't been caught up yet? Is there something you can do to get that shifting? And if there isn't, then take it down. You'd be as well handing it back into another charity shop, 400 grams for that one, and taking a loss of say 25p than keeping it in stock and trying to sell it to take a loss of 50p. So many intricacies and variations in all of this. Right, so that was another single book, Alex Gray. How much did they sell for, did I say? £1.99 plus postage. Next up, we have another single book. Greg Hurwitz, Hellbent, Orphan X series. Love the Orphan X series. It's that kind of sophisticated Jack Reacher. Not that Jack Reacher isn't brilliant as well. But yeah, aye. Orphan X, the nowhere man. He is the man. If you like anything Jack Reacherish, Lee Childish, and you haven't tried Greg Hurwitz, give him a read. Orphan X series is great, but to be honest, so are all his standalone books, of which he has written many. So with Lee Child, you get Jack Reacher. With Greg Hurwitz, you get Orphan X, and a whole lot more. So yeah, you like the action thrillers, your indestructible good guys, anti-heroes, well, anti-heroes aren't, he's not a good guy, he's an anti-hero, then give him a go. I mean, if Jack Reacher's a serial killer, which I really do believe he is, he just goes around the country murdering people and then comes up with a reason as why it was justified. Nah, he's a serial killer. He does it because he likes it. He keeps finding himself in those situations because he keeps looking for those situations. I know it's just a character, but hey, Jack Reacher's a serial killer, Orphan X is a mass murderer. So there you go. We would say SA1, and it weighs 400 grams. So, yes, serial killers and mass murderers as anti-heroes we love. It says something about our society, but I like them, so we might complain. Right, next we have Kate Ellis, The Death Season. Another author that sells well and regularly, if not for a huge amount of money. If you see a Kate Ellis, pick it up. When you've got a few of them, create a listing. And more often than not, within a very short period of time, somebody will come in and buy every single one you've got. Which is not actually what I've got at the moment. Twice I've had Kate Ellis multi-listings and somebody's come in and bought the whole lot, and then I just picked up a couple of books, so I just listed them individually just because I knew they might sell quite quickly. They've not sold as quickly. I've had singles, I think I've probably got 5 or 6 as singles now, so I'll go in at some point this week probably, take down those listings and just put them all back up as a one listing. LS11. Something I need to catch up on is when you've only got one title left in a listing that's got a good history, put the price up to like £100 so nobody will buy it, because it keeps that listing live, because you'll have people who watch that listing on eBay's algorithm will think this is a good listing. If people are looking for something here, we want to send them to this one because it's got a good sell through rate, etc, etc. So try not to lose those listings, keep them live any way you can. That's why if you search for a particular book title, you'll see that World of Books will have one for $79.99, which makes no sense, but it's usually their last copy, and that means that nobody's going to buy it, and it'll keep that listing live so they don't have to go in and create a new one. Next up we've got The Diceman by Reinhard, another single book, £2.85 plus postage. So that's an older book, bit of a cult following, that one, and there's a few different editions. That's kind of the original paperback edition. So somebody who is perhaps a bit nostalgic, they read it when they were a student 20 years ago, whatever, maybe they see that and they see that copy of it and they want that copy of it because that's the one they remember. Whereas again, if they go to a big seller, it'll be a generic title, but you never know what copy you're actually going to get. It could be this one, it could be, you know, a much more modern edition. So that single listing showing that particular edition lets people see exactly what they're getting, and if they're looking for it to own rather than just to read, then they're going to buy yours, even if it's a couple of quid more, rather than just buying a copy from World of Books or such like. Anyway, another one in the pile. Big pile we got today, big pile. Right, next we have fan favourites. We've had Orphan X, now we've got Jack Reacher. Here we go. Without Fail, Better Off Dead, and Make Me. 3 little paperbacks, standing in a row. One fell over and broke his toe. I don't know what that is. Two little paperbacks standing in a row. One was in the toilet, so I had to go. One little paperback, all on his own. Nobody wants him, he had to go home. I'm just talking mince now. Even the cat's getting funny looks. Right, so 3 Lee Child books. They will have sold for £3 each. I've got them for just now. £3.25 each. Buy 2 get 1 free. So total order value for that £10.15. So again, a tenner per order means that I'm going to make a few quid off of that one, even when they're sold on promoted listings, which everything seems to be these days. WR3, it was 1200 grams. Into the pile it goes. Right, next, another single book. Point Horror, The Waitress by Sinkler Smith. Sinclair or Sinkler, whatever you want to say. UK price £2.99 in the back. Obviously it's older. That sold for £2.85. Right. Very. This is a large letter if I do it right. And we'll trim it down. There's no postage on this. Have I gone and put listings on without postage? Oh, Ian, you're a nugget. Right, I'm going to go and fix that very quickly. Well, once I'm done here. That'll cost me more than £2.85 for post and listings. So I made a loss in that, quite annoyed. We'll need to go and sort that out. That's it. Pay attention to the detail. And I listed about 800 books the other day, and I'm sure that was one of them. So I could have hundreds of books sitting at the moment with free postage and be charging less than postage costs. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, we'll come back to that stuff. Right, next up we have another single book. Philippa Gregory, hardcover, Dark Tides. This wasn't a first edition or anything, I don't think. No. This sold for £4 plus postage. So, if people want hardcover ones, then paying, that's about £8 for that. It's still less than retail. Where's my scissors going? There they are. So they're getting a deal. I'll make a couple of quid. Everybody's happy. So just put that down there. Put that over there. And put that down there. And I'm getting really antsy about going and checking those listings now. In case I really have put them all down as free postage. I can't afford to have free postage. It's the only one I've noticed from the sales today where it's been free postage, so hopefully it is only a couple of books. Right, this weighs 800 grams and Philippa Gregory is going to EX16. EX16. Right, we're nearly at the end. Next up are two little books going to somewhere foreign, but I'm going to do a pair of trousers first. I'm going to pick up Arn, newbie tags, trousers. I'm going to pay like a £5 for them. Sold them for 23 plus postage. So a few quid back. Cost of goods, VAT, fees, postage, all of these things. Once you take that in, I've maybe made £6 or £7 off of them. So take what you can. So it's at 500. Let's call it 600. Just for fun, 600, and they're going to DL12. It's actually a sale from this morning, but we'll get them out today anyway. Right, last two. We've got Philip Jose Farmer, don't know what you'd say it, the Image of the Beast. And what's that? An Exorcism Ritual 1, and then an Exorcism Ritual 2. Ritual, that's it. Kind of naughty covers on them. So when I had them listed, I had to blank out certain parts of the cover, just in case eBay took offence, because they're a wee bit nuddy. But these are heading off on the international programme thing. Don't know where, but somewhere out the country. And they sold for £21.55. So that's for 2 books plus postage. So I think that may be the first time I've ever sold multiples to international sales, because usually people try to do that, but a lot of people have tried, but eBay tries to charge them for every single item and postage on every single item, which makes it, extortionate, absolutely ridiculous. But whatever's going on here, they seem to have been able to bundle them up and get one postage cost from eBay instead of getting charged for every single one. So aye, a bit different. Anyway, I do have 2 big bundles to pack and wrap, but I'm just going to do them off camera, as it were. We've got 3 Christopher Paolini hardcovers and an almost complete bundle of Dan Brown paperbacks heading out. So I'm going to pack them up because they need to be boxed and stuff. I won't bore you with that little detail. But that's everything we've got going out today. A couple of interesting orders. A lot of just standard bread and butter bits and pieces going as well. Hope that's been interesting. Yes, I'm still cold. I am always cold. That's all for now. So love you. See you. Bye.